It's like nerve impulses take a little while to register with him. And he can exhibit a lot of those same characteristics, as an ADD child. In fact, a lot of people want to diagnose him as that. But it's just that he takes a moment for things to register with him. And he also has some of those same symptoms of autism that he doesn't really recognize. If you give him an angry look or whatever, it takes him a little while to figure out that that's what you're doing. Or they don't recognize emotions quite as quickly as ordinary or other people do.
How old is he?
How old is he now? 6 and a half. 6.5. And tonight we're going to be talking about some ways to deal with that. And one of the things that I've seen in dealing with it, by the way, my name is Mike Strawbridge. I'm a Marketing America distributor, and we're going to be talking about some Marketing America stuff here tonight. And also one thing I want to ask you, if you got your cell phones with you, please put them on silent or vibrate. We don't want to have any interruptions while our speakers are here. If you need to go out to the restroom, they're like all the way on the other end of the building down there, so you'll find them if you keep walking. One of the products that Marketing America has recently come out with is called Mighty Men's Spectrum, and they found that specific blend of vitamins and minerals with beta-carotene and zinc and lots of good junk in there is shown to really help with these symptoms. And I know that the kid I've been working with the sensory integration disorder, he gets in a whole lot less trouble at school if he takes his vitamins every day. And so, in fact, he's got what he calls it with the treasure drink because he sometimes gets to get in the treasure chest at school if he takes his drink every day. So, so there's a lot of different alternative ways we can deal with this. And another thing that I've noticed in dealing with these kids is that they tend to reflect back exactly what you're feeling. And so they tend to be like almost telepathic and reading your emotions. So if you go into them with an irritated feeling, they're going to just soon be irritated right back at you, and you may not be going, where'd that come from? And a lot of times that's coming from inside you. So we got products to help that too. We got the Bliss, we got calcium, B12s. We can fix you up a stress buster cocktail in a hurry, and that kind of helps you deal with those things a whole lot better. But our main featured speaker tonight is Lisa Dupree. She's a mother. She's been dealing with these issues for quite a bit, and I left my piece of paper back there. What's the name of your organization again?
Mothers Moving Mountains. Mothers
Moving Mountains. That's a great name for a course. So I want everybody to give me a big hand and welcome Lisa up here. Mothers Moving Mountains.
Thank you all for having me tonight. I'm going to be comfortable and have a seat. And I'm not real big on the big formalities. I like to just be like at home with people and comfortable. So welcome to everybody. I'm glad that you all are welcoming me tonight. I appreciate you having me. Thank you, Lily, for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Now, I definitely want to keep to your time frame, so if you want to just let me know right now, and I believe we said about 20 minutes, and then if I, for some reason, go a little bit
We'll go a little over that.
then
That's
okay.
fine.
And if you want to give me the signal, if I get to going, that would be fine as well. And first of all, I'd just like to say that I'm sure that all of you are interested in health, or you wouldn't be seeking information about the products that the gentleman mentioned here tonight. I'm not familiar with your products, but I'm always willing to learn and understand more about products and anything. I love to learn. I tell people I learn something new every day. And I'm a wife and homeschooling mom, and when you homeschool, you do learn every day. You learn with your children and you teach them, and just it's really a great thing. And one thing that I would like to say tonight is there are lots of answers and there are lots of questions. But the main thing that I want all of you to take home with you tonight is one word. And it's a very important word, and without it, we cannot really go forward. And that word is hope. When our son was a toddler, he had a lot of unusual symptoms, and being a first-time mother, I was real excited because at 5 months he said, "Mama," and of course I was just thrilled and thought this was great, and it was great. And he had some issues from birth, and then others he didn't have until after he had been vaccinated. And I'm not one to be controversial, and I'm not one of these people who storms the state capitol or anything. Some of you may be, and if you are, that's your calling. I think everybody has a purpose and a plan, and I believe that some people are meant to do those kinds of things. For me, my purpose is to be a wife and be a mother and to reach out when I'm able to do so. But my family and my faith take my top priorities, and then everything else, I think God brings us to what we're supposed to do, and so I'm glad to be here tonight. The single word is hope, and the hope is that no matter what situation, no matter what diagnosis, whether it's on the autism spectrum, ADD, ADHD, autism, PDD, NOS, it's just a whole alphabet soup of diagnoses out there these days. And that's not even to include things like MS and Parkinson's and cancer and you name it. You can look on any news channel or on any radio station, listen on any station. You can look anywhere and you will see some issue. And everybody has their specific issue that's really the big hot button issue for them. And the important thing to remember is that we aren't in this alone. There are people that are going through the same or similar situations, and that's what's so important to remember. And that's why I have the heart to continue working no matter how well our children are doing, which our son has almost completely recovered from autism and vaccination injury, and our daughter has completely recovered. And it is a miracle. And I'm not sitting here tonight saying I'm an expert and you give me this diagnosis or this child's condition and I'm going to suddenly miraculously tell you the step-by-step formula that's going to be the cure-all, end-all, be-all for your child or loved one. I cannot do that. What I can do is point you in a direction that will get you the information that you will be able to see for your own particular child or relative or yourself. Sometimes we have adults who are diagnosed with these same issues that they were not aware of, and then come to be diagnosed as well. We have been on a long journey, and we are continuing on it day by day with our children. And I'm going to touch on a few different types of therapies and a few things that we have done. And then I'll talk a little bit about our Mother's Moving Mountains, which, by the way, that name, I inherited that name when I became facilitator a little over 3 years ago. And I say that we're families, and that we have dads, grandfathers, grandmothers, all the different relatives and friends, and it's a team approach. We welcome all people regardless of ability or disability, and that is a very important thing for people to feel like not only do they have hope, but they have help. Because many times when you get a diagnosis, you do not feel secure in that diagnosis. You do not feel happy to get a diagnosis. Although there are some people who have had so many different issues going on that they feel relieved that there's actually a name for what their child or him or herself might be experiencing, and that sense of relief. But then you go on the journey and you start getting inundated with, anywhere you look, you can look at any website, you can Google. Everybody who has a computer can look up any number of things on one, and you can get more and more confused, and that's not helpful, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed. So what I do when people come to me or when people call or email is I try to sit down with them and give just a few things that they can start looking at For us, I'll tell you what worked for us, and again, I'm not a doctor.